You guys, I wrote a book. I can't believe I finally get to share it with you guys. This is so surreal. This is so surreal. Let me just gather my thoughts. Okay. So I wrote a book, and I'm going to do this raw, and I'm going to read off my laptop with some bullet points to make sure I don't forget anything for anyone who wants to purchase the book. But yeah, I wrote a book, and it just feels like, I don't know. I feel, to be honest with you guys, when I finally finished the book and it was time to publish it, I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified and scared out of my mind, and to the point I felt physically sick. And it was like every time I thought about it, I felt like I needed to puke. And I was like, oh my goodness, Mila, just stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about it. So I stopped thinking about it, and I just went on just to focus on my business and just to focus on content for my business and praying to God and expressing my feelings to Him and letting Him know, like, God, like, I truly am terrified to put this out there because it's such a vulnerable thing. And then, like, there's things that I thought I would never share, but we're sharing it. We're finally sharing it. There's stuff I thought it would take to my grave, and then I'm not. But I think it's such a surreal moment. At this moment, I'm excited. I can't believe, like, I literally got the email 10 minutes ago about the paperback has finally been published. So right now, as of April 2nd, the paperback has finally been published. I did the paperback, the hardcover, and the ebook. So right now the paperback has been published. Let me see. We got another email. My book is available in Kindle. It's got approved. So Kindle has been approved. Now we're just waiting on the hardcover. So Kindle and paperback has been approved. So I just can't believe, like, this is happening. And let me just share a backstory for you guys real quick. So in 2023, I got out of a toxic relationship. It was this relationship that was on and off again for 9.5 years. And I literally thought I never thought we would ever break up. And it happened. So I could never picture my life without that person. And it's like, now that I'm finally, like, 2 years later, I'm finally in a place where it's like, wow, I'm finally seeing, like, what life is, like, how my life is, and how my life is, like, better in a way. And I pray that his life is better too. But yeah, like, it's just like, oh my goodness, like, I can't believe, like, this is what my life turned out. Like, I never imagined myself writing a book. I never imagined myself starting a business. I never imagined myself to be back on social media, to be honest, because we was going through it. But we're back, and never in a million years I thought I would be facing fears. Never in a million years I thought I would be back home with my family, and I'm back home with my family. But yeah, you guys, let me I just can't believe it. Okay, so just like a quick little teaser of what the book is about. So again, it does have some information about my toxic relationship, that 9.5 year toxic relationship I mentioned earlier. And so it briefly discusses about that. It briefly discusses about stuff that I went through as a child, some childhood wounds I had to experience, and a lot of them I thought I would never bring to light. And yeah, it's pretty much that. So the beginning of the book is really how I structured the book. It didn't start off this way, but it ended out to be this way. But I structured the book to give you guys, you know, tools and tips and tricks and strategies that helped me leave a toxic relationship, that helped me heal from childhood wounds, and helped me get to the place that I am today, and to help me see how God views me instead of all the things that has been told to me in my past, you know. And I had to let that go. I had to let all those negative feelings, those negative thoughts go. I really did. So it was like, I had to stop believing what people told me I was about. And I think why, I mean, I've told you guys a million times, you're gonna read it in the book. I've been called stupid, right? I've been called stupid, dumb, And that hurt. That really did hurt. And so that's why I was terrified of putting this book out there, because I was like, what if it doesn't sound smart enough? What if it's like, because there's a lot of repetitiveness in there, and I do that a lot, and I've always known that I repeat a lot of things in my book, well, in any of my writing, and I don't know, I just can't help it. But I came to terms with it while speaking to God, like realizing like I'm gonna treat it like how the people did in the Bible. Like if it's repeated, then it's important, right? So that's how I'm gonna see it. That's how I'm gonna view it. So yeah, so there's that too. There's gonna be some repeated phrases if you see that. But yeah, it's just crazy to finally put it out there. And I don't care if you guys think it's stupid or it's dumb. I know like maybe there's like everyone's perspective is going to be different. There's gonna be people who are gonna like it, there's gonna be people who's gonna hate it, and there's gonna be people who are in between. And that's okay. You're not gonna hurt my feelings, and I've come to terms with that. Like I can't please everyone. So, and I'm tired of being a people pleaser. God has been stripping that away from me. So we're not doing that. We're not being a people pleaser. But moving forward, so the title of the book is Shifting the Lens, How Perspective Changes Everything. At first I didn't know what the title was. I changed the title so many times, and then we ended up with that. And then who is the book for? So this book is for anyone. I want to change people's perspective, because how we start the book, it's like, yeah, we want to change the perspective of love, but it's like changing your perspective on the bigger picture. And that's, once you read it, it's like, it kind of makes sense. I mean, it makes sense to me, I guess. But we start talking about toxic relationship, and then we start ending with how childhood wounds basically led me to that toxic relationship. And it's in certain things, certain secrets that I've been holding, I had to put out there. I'm hoping to change your guys' perspective on the situation and perspective on your life, hopefully. It's never guaranteed, and that is okay. Why I wrote this book. So the personal journey, what inspired me to write it, believe it or not, I had a dream. And people might think that's crazy, but I had a dream, a vivid dream, that I wrote a book. And I was in this little girl's body, and she was in school. I don't know if it was high school or college, but they were reading and discussing my book. It was definitely a book that was a conversation starter. And it's definitely a controversial book. It's a controversial topic, controversial situations. And I didn't understand when I first wrote the book, but when I finally finished it, I was like, oh dang, I could see how it was controversial. Anyways, but I had that dream, and I saw the cover of the book. No, I didn't see the title. I saw the cover of the book, what it looked like, and I saw my name. And it was in red by Jamila Clanton, and I made it in red. And it had other details in it too. And it was crazy enough when one detail, I thought it was about how I started the book. I thought it was completely about how I left my toxic relationship. But then it was like one name. When I saw that one name in the book, it changed everything. And then it wasn't until I realized when I finally typed it in, I was like, dang. And I sat there, I was like, dang, this is what the book is about. And I thought that was crazy. And I was like, oh my goodness, like how surreal this is, like how like crazy, like my dream is coming true. I don't know. I don't know. But that's the reason why I wrote this book. It was because of a dream. And honestly, because I wouldn't have never wrote the book if it wasn't for this dream, to be completely honest. But yeah, that's the reason why I wrote the book. How does my experience shape the story / message? That's a very good question. I would have to say it shapes it in a way just to change your guys' perspective. I think it's so controversial of what I went through and the stuff I tell you guys. I think it's gonna shape how people's perspective is. I think my main purpose of this book is to see how everyone's perspective is different, right? Because how I see this perspective might not be the way you see it, right? But not only that, it's like how I saw this perspective, you guys might not agree with it. So, I don't know, and that's the scary part, but this is how I viewed it. And I see why it's so controversial, because it's definitely controversial, I think, in my opinion. But yeah. The next one is the moment you knew you had to write this book. I felt like I truly believe in some way God is speaking to me, and he will speak to me through signs or through people or whatever. So it wasn't until I came to Colorado and everywhere I would see like, oh, write the book, write the book, write the book. Or like I would hear people or I would watch videos and they would randomly say, write the book. And I'm just like, at first I ignored it. And it wasn't until that dream I was like, dang, I gotta write the book. I ignored it, and until that dream I was like, dang, I gotta write the book. And I'm not a writer, but I would rather write instead of present, to be perfectly honest. But I'm not a writer, and I was not excited to do this, and I tried everything in my power not to write this book. But God works in mysterious ways. But we wrote the book, and yeah, that's how I knew what the readers to expect. It's personal, and I want to read the author's note to you guys, because I want you guys to be aware of what you're about to read, and maybe this is, it just has the gist of it. So it says, dear reader, first and foremost, I wanted to say this book is not about bashing the people I've come across in my life. It is my side of the story of how things turned out in certain events. I believe God wants me to share my story with others who have similar experiences. This book is to help people who've been in a toxic relationship, are currently in a toxic relationship, or want to prevent being in a toxic relationship by changing their perspective. We also discuss changing your viewpoint about friends, family, careers, and healing. I take mental health very seriously, and I want to warn you that there are some triggers in this book. This book contains, but is not limited to, sexual assault, verbal/emotional abuse, mental health issues, and cheating. So I want to make sure that you guys are 100% aware of what you guys are reading. Again, it's my story. This is what I went through. It's scary enough to tell strangers what I went through, because I haven't told certain family members of what I went through. So, and that's what scared me the most too. Not only that you guys would think just those negative thoughts or whatever, was like I haven't told my family of certain situations and how I felt in those certain situations. And the thing is, like, I went through it, and yeah, it still triggers me sometimes, because it's the reason why I grew up so angry, and I'm still trying to let go of that anger. But it's like forgiveness, and all you can do is forgive. And I'm trying to forgive in a lot of situations, but I'm not trying to make this a pity party, okay? It's not a pity party. This is my story, and as scary as it is to share it with you guys, I believe it's supposed to help someone. I saw this one post on TikTok, and someone was saying, like, share your story, because God assigned at least one person to your story to help them get through what they're going through, because they're probably experiencing the same things that I experienced, and they don't know how to get out of it. They don't know how to break free from it. And it's like, because if I think about it, it's like, I wish I had this book. I wish I had this book to read when I was younger. And unfortunately I had to go through it, but I hope it does help at least one person, at least. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The key lessons or takeaways, the key lesson is just change your perspective. How it connects to faith and personal growth. I could see how God saved me in all situations. I could see how God saved me in all situations. I could see how I had to go through that to share my story. I could see how I became who I am, was who I was in certain situations because of the things I had to experience. How to get the book out. Where and when will it be available? So it's officially available now. I felt like if I actually set a date to it, because I was planning to set it in April 21st. That was my plan. But I was like, every time, I was like, no, it's making me sick to my stomach that I feel like I would pull the plug somehow, some way. Pull the plug and not even announce it to anyone or anything. But so I said it, I was like, publish it right away. Within 72 hours, they did it. They officially published it, except for the hardcover. I haven't got the email of that one yet. but they officially published the ebook and the paperback, and so you can order it now. As soon as you see this video, you can order it on Amazon.com, and it's called Shifting the Lens: How Perspective Changes Everything by Jamila Clanton. And yeah, it's only $16. And special editions or bonuses, if any. There's a bonus chapter in the book. It's a bonus for a reason. So I kept it as a bonus chapter if people are willing to read that far, you know. Yeah, but yeah, I hope you guys do support. Honestly, I don't mind if you don't purchase the book, because I really don't want you guys to read what was in my thoughts. I really don't want you guys to know what I went through. I feel like this book is so vulnerable that it's scary to just put out there. But now that it's out there, I have to actually text my family, text the group chat, and let them know that I wrote a book. And I want to let them know because there's certain things in my life that has involved certain people. So definitely want to let them know and make sure they're aware, and just let them know, like, hey, this is what's in my certain topics that's in the book. But if you want to read it, you're gonna have to purchase it, because I'm not giving it out for free, because it's so vulnerable to me that I don't want anyone to read it. And on top of that, it's a short book. You don't even expect a novel. It's a short read. It's an easy read they can get through. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Yeah, I guess that's the end of this video. I just can't believe it's happening. I'm scared to even post this. I'm scared to even post it on social media. Now I have to edit all that content, but yeah, it's official. If you want to check out this book, go to Amazon.com and purchase the book. It's only $16. If you guys do support, definitely comment down below. If you guys have any comments about the book, let me know your takeaways of the book. And yeah, I would be happy to hear what your thoughts are. And if there's any negative comments or any negative messages towards it, I will not respond, because I feel no need to. But feel free to leave that if you feel the need to leave a negative comment. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next week for the next video. Bye guys.